Hello and welcome back to the reading vlog. As you probably can hear, I am ill. At least I have my voice back, which is why I'm starting this reading vlog really late. It is already Thursday, but I still wanted to film the reading vlog. I lost my voice 3 days ago and I'm slowly getting it back. But kind of sucked because my friends were here and I'm pretty sure that I had an allergic reaction to the cat hair on their clothes, and that turned into a cold, and now I'm ill. But yeah, I'm just finishing up work right now. And I did read a little bit, really not much because I just felt way too ill, but I'm making progress with Under the Lake. There's a lot of spooky stuff already going on, even though I'm only at page 50. So yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing with that once I'm done with work today. And I will try to give you a check-in later. I will have to see how much my voice can do. But yeah, this one I will finish this week, hopefully, either today or tomorrow. And then we can start another book. But yeah, already this month does not have a good start. I will have to cut out a lot of coughing. Kind of low. It's the first time I'm seriously having a cold since the coronavirus started, which that, before that I had like a lot of colds in the winter, and yeah, it's the first one I had since that started, and it sucks, to be honest. But yeah, I will give you an update for you a few seconds, for me a few hours. Okay, so let's talk about Another Lake. I'm sorry if it's really choppy, the video. I have to cut out a lot of coughing still. It is still Thursday. I finished this. I didn't think I would, but to be honest, it's a really bad book. What means really bad? If you don't really have the highest expectations, maybe you're fine with it. It just is totally different to what I wanted and to what it's promising. Because yeah, it's called Under the Lake, and there are houses under the lake. It's pretty much like this small village town thingy, and like a super rich person comes and buys all of the land to build a dam, and the dam then floods a part of the village that he tries to buy out. And the thing is, it is kind of a supernatural horror, but it is way less supernatural horror than promised. There's one ghost in this whole story. The rest of the bad people are all of the characters. Our main character, don't care for him. He kind of cheats on his wife. They are in a bit of like a pause, but they're still married and they haven't really talked about it. And then he sleeps with 2 different women, and then he gets a letter from his wife, and she's like, I think we're kind of split. I think this isn't working out. I met someone new. And she's then essentially saying that she's also sleeping with someone new, and then he's really jealous, even though he already slept with 2 different women. That's a whole problem in and of itself. And then pretty much the whole story is about incest and just like rich people trying to do what they can. And it's just a really dumb story, to be honest. I would have wanted just like, a lot of ghosts, maybe a lot of people that were displaced or died a tragic death, and in the end it's just incest and one crazy girl, pretty much killing her own family, and then she then is killed by like the guy who's later the sheriff, and he gives his daughter up, which I think is a whole nother thing. I mean, I hate the whole concept of like, oh, what a surprise. There's one journalist, she worked together with our main character before, but yeah, she is sent to the village, goes to the village to uncover a drug trafficking, which the cop does, another dumb topic. But yeah, she wants to uncover that, and in the process she realizes, or like he tells her later, but the cop is her dad actually, and she is um the daughter between the cop and the ghost woman, and the ghost woman from an incest family, and it's all really weird. It's all just really lame, to be honest. The book isn't scary. It starts really, really promising and then goes downhill really, really fast. So yeah, 2 stars. I'm sorry, I really can't talk a lot. It's just making me cough. So yeah, but 2 stars. Not impressed, but I finished it, which I'm really proud of, to be honest. So let me tell you which book I will start tomorrow. You know what? I technically wanted to wait till Halloween until I do the reread, but I'm just in the mood for a book that I know will be good. So I will start my reread of Carrie tomorrow because I'm really looking forward to that book, and I kind of need a little bit of a pick me up, especially since I'm still not feeling particularly well. I feel better than the last days, but not like well, as you can tell by my voice. So yeah, I will start this tomorrow. Hopefully I can talk a little bit better tomorrow, and it's not as annoying. But yeah, don't pick this up. It's not worth it. Um, Also, it has nearly 4 stars on Goodreads. Don't know why. I don't know. It's just all of these supernatural books that promise me horror and then deliver incest. I'm really sick of that, to be honest. That isn't the first one where I have that problem. And so yeah, I'm kind of a little bit annoyed at that fact. But yeah, I will now stop talking and try to recover a little bit more. And I will see you tomorrow.
Clay and sand from the fossils that have been rapidly collected from the core even before. One of them, generically identified in the field as a mammal long bone, turned out to be an ape tibia, or shin bone. I traveled almost 4,000 miles to see it. Women's office is on the second floor of the University of Tübingen Paleontology Museum. Down the hall in one direction are spectacularly preserved fossil ichthyosaurs, ammonites, and ancient sea lilies recovered in Jurassic Shale quarries in the nearby town of Holzmaden. In the other direction are fossil dinosaurs and therapsids, the furry reptilian ancestors of mammals. I sat at a round table near cabins full of fossils, unsure if I would be able to see or measure any of them. I didn't know Burma, and she didn't know me. I've learned sometimes the hard way that some discoverers of ancient human and ape fossils restrict access to a limited few in bizarre quid pro quos antithetical to how science should work. I had nothing to offer Burma except my knowledge of the shin bone, subject to my PhD thesis. Within minutes, though, I was surrounded by fossils from Hammerschmidt. Burma enthusiastically placed a Danubius ulna in front of me, followed by a toe bone, finger bones, femurs, and finally a tibia. Sprinkled in were a baby elephant pelvis, monkey fossils from a younger site in Bulgaria, and replicas of fossil apes from Pakistan, Spain, and Kenya. Burma loves fossils as much as I do, and she agrees with my views on our science. These bones are meant to be shared and studied, not hidden away. I pulled out my calipers and camera and got to work. The Danubius tibia is complete, providing insight into the function of both the knee and the ankle joints in this ancient ape. The way the knee joints of all animals flex and extend depends on how the rounded bony end of the femur rolls over the top of the tibia. In the apes, the top of the tibia is rounded, giving chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans much more knee mobility than we have. Surprisingly, the knee of the Danubius is flat like ours, and that would have allowed it to extend its legs and stand more upright. What shocked me most, however, was the ankle joint. In all living primates except humans, the very bottom of the tibia, where the leg meets the foot, is tilted. This orientation twists the feet inward so that they are ready for grasping. It also angles the tibia so that the knees are positioned far from one another, making apes bow-legged. Dr. Adolph's NYU lab in Greenwich Village. Adolph was a preschool teacher for 6 years before beginning her graduate work in developmental psychology at Emory University. Since then, she's been awarded more than 40 grants to study early childhood development and written more than 100 scientific papers, which have been cited by her colleagues more than 9,000 times. No one knows more about how kids learn to walk. Moving on all fours is fine for other animals and seems to be adequate for infants. Why then, I asked, do kids stand and walk on 2 legs? Adolph smiled and stared at me with piercing blue eyes.
Okay, so I didn't talk to you yesterday. I didn't feel well enough, to be honest. My voice is still struggling. And so yeah, after I finished work yesterday, I was just, not capable of doing anything. Um, yeah, it's taken me quite some time to get over this cold, so we'll see how it goes. But I did read Carrie by Stephen King this morning. And I did finish my audiobook yesterday. So yeah, let's start with Carrie. I love this book. I think it's kind of a a more dramatized version of what happens a lot in schools, that there's like, you know, one teen who's just really ostracized by the others, maybe because of the upbringing. In the case of Carrie, because her mother's obviously this really, really strict religious person who takes everything over the top and who sees her own child as a sin. And you know, that's not always the case in this extreme, but a lot of people get ostracized by their peers, and they kind of like, you know, just like internalize all of those thoughts. And in the case of Carrie, just because she has some what is the right word? Not telepathic. Is it telekinesis? I think yes. She has telekinesis, and that kind of comes out once she hits puberty, and at that point, she just snaps because her peers are just so horrible to her. And yeah, obviously, she kills a lot of people, and it's really fun to read about, to be honest. But I think it also shows how much of a problem it is that adults don't step in, and there really, and for a lot of times, there really isn't that much of a support network. And obviously, you know, there's no way that you are allowed to, like, you know, kill the people who torment you. That is just not sensible in any way, shape, or form. But it's like, you know, an over-the-top dramatic version of what happens everywhere. I also had a lot of mobbing in school for, like, you know, not looking like everyone else and not really fitting in. I mean, it was a little bit of like a really awkward teenager, and yeah, not everyone was happy with that, and some people kind of hated me for it for whatever reason. But you know, you live through it and you come out the other side, and I'm just rather myself than anybody else, so I'm fine. But obviously, not everybody comes out of there fine. I never had anything physically done to me, which obviously Carrie has physical and mental abuse from her peers. I don't know. I really love this book. It's still 5 stars. I love it anyway, but I think Stephen King's books, a lot of the time, especially like this one, Pet Sematary, you can read them really shallowly for like the obvious story, and then you can look a little bit more into it. And I don't know if that was his intention, but for me, this also like kind of has a mirror in front of some people and is like, yeah, you know, especially since I love the format of the book. You have the story that is told, and then you have newspaper clippings that kind of spoil the story a little bit, but not really that much, because obviously newspaper clippings aren't really like telling a detailed story. They are more like facts that may or may not have been what is the word? Well, they may or may not be facts, but obviously they publish stuff like that. I love the format, and that also gives you a glance into the fact that, for example, the principal of the school and the school teacher that kind of tries to help, but she doesn't really try to help Carrie. She just tries to minimize the potential physical mobbing between the girls. But yeah, both of them obviously stand back after everything happens, and both of them are like, well, you know, I just wish I would have done something. And I think that is a lot of the times what children would wish for adults to do, that a lot of the time they just don't do anything, and you kind of like feel on your own. And yeah, I don't know, I kind of interpret that it's kind of what I see in this book, but obviously it's an interpretation. But yeah, a good horror book. I love it. It's good to reread books you know you love, especially since being ill and not reading that much, to be honest. Yeah, and then I finished my audiobook yesterday evening that is called First Steps, and it's pretty much an audiobook just about why we walk upright and what the current research into that is, and kind of the explanations and what fossils say and what our ideas are about that. I really love, there's a whole topic about women and walking. And because for a long time people were like, yeah, women are weaker when it comes to walking, they walk weirdly. I personally have never heard that, but I guess it's something, that is a little bit before my time. Um, because I was born in the 90s, and I guess like the 70s, 80s were where a lot of like shit against women was still said. And yeah, it turns out, especially when it comes to endurance, women are actually a lot better walkers because we carry children, or like from like a nature point. Um, the woman has to carry her child, and so she has to walk a little bit different, but that also makes her a better endurance walker. So that was really, really interesting. So yeah, if you want to learn anything about that, pick the book up. I just don't know the author right now, and I can't look it up because obviously I'm filming on my phone and my tablet is upstairs. So I'm gonna put the author here in the cover so you can look that up. But yeah, I really liked that. I think I gave it 4 or 5 stars, one of the two. I cannot remember because I was really, really tired yesterday, and so I don't really remember. Yeah. But yeah, that is the end of this blog. I'm sorry that it's kind of really short and I don't really sound good, and it's a little bit of a scrambled mess, but I hope you still enjoyed the vlog. I read 2 horror books this month already now. One really great, one not so great, but I think that will happen again and again. But yeah. Also, I will get my second horror Illumicrate this month, so hopefully it will come before the end of the month, so I can read it in October. We'll see that, but I'm really excited to see what horror book is in there. But yeah, that is how it is right now. I hope you still enjoyed the vlog, and maybe I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!